I woke up inside a storm made of words. Every sound was a mirror reflecting my confusion. I kept speaking, hoping one sentence, just one, might save me. But the more I spoke, the further I drifted from the sound of my soul. It's funny, isn't it? We fill the air with chatter, thinking volume equals truth. My laughter was loud, a booming performance for a silent audience. But my own silence, that was louder, a deafening roar no one else could hear. The world clapped for the noise I made, the jokes, the opinions, the confident declarations. But no one noticed the quiet collapse happening just behind my smile. It was a well-practiced illusion. I built towers from opinions, cathedrals from validation, and I called them me. I thought if I just stacked enough external approval, it would create a solid foundation. If enough people told me who I was, I'd finally believe it. Yet, every time I shouted my convictions into the void, something softer, something more authentic inside me whispered a simple, persistent plea. Be still, but I didn't know how. I was terrified of what I might find in the quiet, so I just kept talking faster and louder, drowning out the only voice that ever truly mattered. I tried to silence the silence. That sounds absurd, doesn't it? Fighting quiet with more noise. I filled my days with screens, endless scrolling, a digital anesthetic for an aching soul. My nights were spent with strangers' stories, losing myself in films and books, anything to avoid writing my own. But echoes don't die, they only wait. They find a home in the corners of your eyes, in the fleeting pause between your breaths. They are patient, relentless. I started to see my reflection splinter. I'd catch a glimpse of myself in a window, and for a split second, there would be two of me. One smiling, the one the world knew, and another crying, trapped behind the glass. How many versions of myself did I create, just to escape the real one? There was the professional me, the funny me, the agreeable me. A whole cast of characters, and I was the exhausted director trying to keep them all on script. But the echo followed, soft but certain, like the ocean returning to its tide, whispering the same undeniable truth. You can run from the sound that isn't heard. Then, one day, I just stopped. I have no idea why that day was different. Maybe I was just too tired to run anymore. The noise, the constant, frantic storm in my head, collapsed into a single note, and that note was silence. At first, it was terrifying. It felt like a void, an abyss. We're taught to fear emptiness, to fill every moment. But silence is not empty. It is full brimming with everything we never dared to say, every truth we swallowed, every tear we held back. In that stillness, I finally met my shadow. And it wasn't dark or monstrous, as I'd always feared. It was simply me, the unspoken parts, the unseen self, waiting patiently to be acknowledged. I sat with my own absence, and in that void I found presence instead. The silence began to sing, not with words, but with light. It was the most beautiful music I had ever heard. Each ray of morning sun felt like a forgotten memory returning. Each shadow on the wall held a truth I had pushed away. And slowly, I realized I am not the noise of the world. I am not the sum of my conversations or my social media posts. I am the listener behind it all. The soul does not shout for attention. It doesn't need to. It hums, a quiet, steady frequency. And when you finally stop speaking, when you finally give up the performance, you begin to hear what it's been saying all along. The circle is complete. I have not escaped the world, I have re-entered it, but differently, silently. Now, I speak only when silence asks me to, when the words come from that deep, quiet place. I move gently through my days, as if every step is an echo of gratitude for this newfound peace. I understand now, silence was never my prison. It was my teacher. It was the sacred space that showed me where I end and where everything else begins. Silence was never empty. It was full of everything I could not say.